Akuma! You must answer me this. Do you have a family, a son?
Where I walk alone. Where I fight alone. Where's one who can stand against me?
That was Akuma, the man who mastered our fighting style.
Hi everyone and welcome to another world-expanding episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the possible French clone of Bison, Kyle Charles.
And the convoluted clone brother of Ryu, but not.
Shit. Oh, God, the worst character.
Big White Chong. And today we are looking at. I almost forgot to introduce myself, by the way.
And also, I was like,
I was like, pause, and then I was like, wait a minute. Where am I going with that? Today we're going to look at the Street Fighter animated movies. So that would be Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, which was in 1994.
Yes.
Street Fighter Alpha, the movie, which is in I want to say 1999, but I think that's the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that right?
I think it might be like 2000.
Yeah. So I think you're right. You're right. I think it was that. Street Fighter Alpha or Street Fighter Zero, the animation in 2000.
Yep.
Street Fighter Alpha Generations, which was in 2005, which is not related to Street Fighter Alpha, the movie, for some reason, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I used the same titles, anyways.
Yeah.
And Street Fighter 4 Ties That Bind, which was like a animated movie that bundled with Street Fighter 4 to tie up. Well, not necessarily to tie up, but just to be like, okay, here's the story arc for people that are supposed to be in the know, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, this is what's going on. Even though, watching this, and I'm like, yeah, well, it doesn't help anything.
No.
It gives them a little backstory and stuff like that, but it's not like it's in-depth backstory that you could have just got from playing the prologues in the game. Because
they have like little animated opens, don't they? So kind of explain stuff. So yeah, it didn't really.
Yeah, and first of all, how complicated need you be in a fighting game?
Yeah.
It just says, this is the reason why I'm here to fight.
Yep. Which is not going to make any difference to anything whatsoever throughout the games. Yeah.
Not to say, okay, things are straightforward or whatever, right? But it's just like, just need a little bit of, I mean, we got exactly what's going on in Street Fighter versus X-Men, and there wasn't really...
Nothing to tell you anything.
Exactly.
Nothing to tell you anything. Yeah.
So, I like the animation in it, though. It looks good. It looks
animation is great in it.
It's very, clean.
Yes.
If you know what I mean. Very, like, I don't want to say self-shaded animation, but there's not like shadows or darkness to it. It's just like colors and lines.
Yeah, it's really good. I would say I haven't watched it in years, but I would say it kind of would still hold up animation-wise to today's animation.
Yeah. It looks good. It looks. I think it's just where you have like outlines, like in the comic books. You know who? I think Joshua Middleton. I think that's the guy's name. Okay, you don't know who that is?
No,
he did Superman Shazam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did NYX, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's similar looking to his artwork.
Oh.
Do you think?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, now you put it that way. Yeah. Quite unique. Yeah.
This movie is a bit of a weird one because it's just like, oh yeah, we're catching up people really know. And everyone who's okay, so you got the secret agents doing the agent stuff, which would be Guile, Chun-Li, and Cammy.
Yeah.
And then you got the other side of the equation with Ryu and Ken. Ryu's going around, fighting people.
Yeah.
As he would because he's a Street Fighter, and Ken's just like, yeah, well, my life's my life.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I run the corporation. I fight people in the competitions, and I got a wife and a kid. Well, no, yeah. He's got a wife, and he finds out he has a kid in this as well, as in she's pregnant. No, that Eliza ran up and had the kid without Ken.
No, I said, it's your child. Yeah, no, she didn't.
Yeah. I think, but then you get C Viper and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like a lot of people in the roster aren't used.
Nope, they just there.
Yeah, so it's just like, so who is this meant to? Are you just trying to get me the main character storylines going here? Which is fine. It's not a bad thing, but it's just like, it's not like it's a prologue for everyone for the reason why they're in the game. It's just like, here's a little animated movie with specific people.
Yeah, it's like the specific people that we think is gonna sort of take off.
Yeah, or are relevant, or because let's just say, like, Zangief is nowhere to be seen, and Simic and all them other people, right?
Yeah.
So, are you trying to tell me these people aren't relevant by proxy, or you know what I mean?
Pretty much. That's what they're trying to tell you.
And we try to say our boy Seth is now the new dude on this, the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you tie it all back to all them Bison all along, and then the reason why the Street Fighter tournaments are the Street Fighter tournaments because they want to find the most powerful people and absorb their power to empower M. Bison, something like that. And Seth is this failed clone of M. Bison, kind of.
Yeah. This is where it starts getting weird and muddy and
So if this movie was made to streamline the convolutedness, it does its job.
Oh, yeah, it does. But
because it's like, who are these people that I don't know that are just randomly here?
And then it just makes it all worse.
Yeah, but this film did Cammy no favors. Let me tell you that much.
No.
See, it gave C Viper the old, what's it called? The Jump for Valley push, but
yeah, but where's C Viper now? I mean,
exactly. So I like her gimmicks though, and when I say her gimmicks, I don't mean the gimmicks are not those gimmicks. I mean like her power gloves and her flying high heels and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, cool. She's got stuff that helps her in a fight because, hey, what rules are there in these street fighting tournaments?
What makes her character stand out for the wrong reasons as well.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. If we're going chronologically, right?
Yeah.
Street Fighter 2 should be set in the 90s, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And
I took a big pause there because I'm like, there's a sliding timeline though.
And I'm pretty sure she has a touchscreen mobile phone.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. We don't know when specifically these films are taking the games take place because this is in continuity with the games supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's going to be like comic book time that runs through, because Superman is still no. To be fair to DC, when they do it, right, they always have a crisis that resets the timeline.
Yeah.
So we say Marvel in this case because X-Men have been around since the 60s, and yet only about 10-15 years have actually happened.
Yeah.
So we could just say that.
Yeah, it's probably the easiest way to say it, to be fair.
I'm just like, it's like one of those things. So it's weird. It's like none of these animated movies are connected to each other.
No.
Even the ones that have the same title.
Yeah.
And they're all in their own separate continuities.
Yeah.
Which is a bit weird, because only one's actually in continuity with the game. I didn't think this one was bad.
No, it wasn't bad.
It just was like, okay, well, we know who we're trying to showcase here.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
you got any other comments you want to make about this?
No. I don't think it was. I'm like,
No, but okay. Here the storyline being okay. C Viper's just gonna enrage Ryu until Ryu's like, I'm gonna go evil Ryu and just try to kill you.
Yeah, because then they want to take his powers.
Yeah, Steph wants to take his powers. So Steph's like, yo, you're just a punk and a jabroni, and you're nothing to me. And then Ryu's like, mate, you just beat me up, and I'm still standing because I've got the Muno Hado whatever.
Yeah.
Shoryuken your face off and kill you, and Seth's like, oh damn, yeah. And that's it.
How did I not see this coming? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, first of all, he's a character in a movie, right? But he's not a character watching a movie, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
it's like if me and you were in a horror film, or if we were in a Fast and Furious film, we know we just hang on to Vin Diesel, we'll survive.
Yeah. But Seth, on the other hand.
Yeah. Seth's like, nah, but he's the guy inside the film thinking he's the main star when he's not.
Yeah.
And that's his folly.
I hate Seth so much. He's like possibly, in my opinion, probably one of the worst bosses in the Street Fighter game. But
Wait, as far as you, when you played the games, you mean, yeah, his backstory. You mean like just overall?
It's overall. He's like, why did we make him? In my opinion, it's like, why did you make this guy?
Did they retcon him to be a clone of M. Bison?
I think so.
Or was that always the plan?
I think it's always the plan.
Really? Okay.
Well, it's a very pointless plan. But yeah, it's a plan nonetheless, you know. But hey, you know.
I mean, like, I don't. Look, first of all, it probably makes sense if you got the Sentinel. If you got M. Bison's he's got his clone bodies that he wants to jump into. None of that is explained in this, by the way, right? Until the very end. Not even. Does he say in the very end? I don't even know.
I don't even know. I don't think he does.
Yeah, he just said that Bison allowed you to do all that stuff. So Steph is basically look like a white. Okay, not white M. Bison, because M. Bison is already white. What I mean is a super pale M. Bison.
Yeah, with his jawline, sort of.
Yeah.
The Tuncheon engine. You know,
but M. Bison's got a precursor to all this stuff because he makes all these female clones as well. So you know. Yeah. I mean, like
Bison's
well,
not at all, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Even though we could say that he transferred his body, his good side into Rose, therefore he's like, there's reasoning for creating the female clones as well because of, you could say there's a link to whatever, right?
Yeah, but still, it's weird.
Yeah, he's in Bison. He gets 90-year-old Cammy, by the way. No, Cammy's 19 years old, yeah. But was she a 19 years old clone of M. Bison at that point?
I don't know.
Because she has a backstory now.
Does she? Oh yeah, she does now, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure in Street Fighter 2, she didn't have a backstory. She just, hey, she's woman, and then and then later on in the years, they just kind of realized we need to make this woman actually have a point to her rather than just I don't know. The thing is now am I doubting myself that she was created as clone of M. Bison because she's got all that backstory with the UK Special Forces and stuff, which I think I don't even know if that still counts.
Might be in the game. It's who knows exactly, right?
Who knows anymore.
Yeah, because we're going by. There's loads of media for this, so it gets a bit confusing as to what's what when you remember bits and pieces of stuff. Anyways, the people that were international police of whatever you want to say,
Interpol.
At least they were relevant. Yeah. I mean, like, there's Interpol, there's the US Special Forces, there's whatever British thing that Cammy was with.
MI6. I don't know why I feel like saying it's MI6. It's not MI6, but
yeah.
Oh.
Well, let me put it this way. You see what Cammy's wearing. Does MI6 allow people to wear that stuff? You know?
No, but this is a horny Japanese man's.
Yeah, well, no. Then Bison dressed him up. And Bison dressed him up like that. So we're talking, you know.
Oh wait, she's part of Delta Red.
Yeah.
Agent. Okay, that's.
Okay. So. What do you think of Street Fighter Alpha? The Street Fighter Alpha the movie. We'll do that, are we?
Street Fighter Alpha the movie.
Yeah.
Back then when it came out, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Obviously because of the drought of like any Street Fighter media at the time. So I thought, this is amazing. Cool. Ryu's got a brother.
Yeah.
And Akuma's cool. He does like 4 things in his whole movie. No, that's like, to be fair, no, he does one thing, which is pretty cool. The animation was good, but when I got a bit older, I realized the story is like, what is the actual story?
The story, when I watched it the first time, I was like a bit confused, and then I watched it years later
Yeah.
for this, in fact, and I'm like, I don't understand why they just there's ways they could have done this movie,
Yeah.
and that was not one of the ways that I was expecting.
No.
Because it's like, Ryu have a brother. All right, fair enough. Ryu come from the forest. Whatever you want to say, Ryu's backstory canon is, and if I'm saying Assassin's Fist kind of is, let's just say Goken trained him up from in the middle of the forest somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No parents, no family, whatever. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, fair
But
enough.
you could make this happen where there's a random kid that says, "Oh, you are my brother. I think you are my brother."
Yeah.
Right? Rather than saying, "I'm definitively your brother."
Yeah.
And then it turns out, and then you can say, yeah, okay, someone misled the kid, but there's a particular reason because you want to lure him to this particular competition, whatever, yeah?
Yeah.
But that was not that. It was like, it was kind of that, but it wasn't, because there's stuff that, it's like, inside here, there's a movie that could have made sense.
Yeah.
But towards the end of it, it's just like, nah, we're just gonna, what we're gonna do, yeah, is grab the story we got so far, we're going to throw it in a barrel. What we're going to do is mix up a couple of times with all sorts of different ingredients.
Yeah. And
set it on fire, stomp on it, and then like, you know, and then what's it called? And then what? Put the ashes into an urn and resurrect it. It just didn't make sense.
No.
Yeah. All right. So I understand that the guy, the main villain, who comes out of nowhere, by the way, because he never had history in the Street Fighter before.
It's like precursor to Seth when you think about it, but yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. But the thing is like, should they not pick someone that was? They got a roster. Why didn't they pick someone from? Right? Why couldn't the final boss have been Jen, for example? Right? And he wants to fight the best because his life's coming up to finish because he's dying of cancer, whatever it is. And obviously he won't finish that fight because he's like, yeah, actually, I can't.
I don't know. That doesn't make good action movie.
Well, yeah, but okay. So, because obviously the back of his story is the tail end of his story is that he's fighting Akuma, and Akuma's like, I could kill you, right? We're good battle, but you're dying of cancer, so you're not worthy of me. Right?
Yeah.
But this could have been the point before that.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's worthy of making a movie.
Yeah, it's true. Well, yeah, but I mean, compared to the movie they did make,
yeah,
I think they had actually a lot of backstory as well. Not to say they're using the same characters over and over again because they are the main characters, but this could have been. They could have played a less like they could have spread time between different characters for different things.
Yeah. But like mainstream media, people only really care about Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Akuma.
Yeah,
that's really it. You know, I'm not gonna buy a film that spends like 20 minutes talking about Gen, who I couldn't give like a care in the world about. You know, but
it's true. I think well, even if you had, I was gonna say, even if you had Charlie the main, if you had another story one concurrently with the bleed pot and the A pot that combined together or something like that, because you could have the main characters to the side, that one on one side, and then the other characters on the another side. But this is like, I don't know what. Okay, this main villain, he is creating clones of, I don't know, genetic brothers of some sort of characters, and then he's like, yeah, I shall merge these clone people with my whatever bot that he had I don't know, and then but that was nasty when the little kid was combined with that I don't know what it was, but it's just like, oh man, the mess of
cloning, yeah.
And the face trying to come out of the body. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I don't get none of this, but hey.
But at least Birdie was in it.
Yeah.
Oh, Birdie.
Yeah. At least Birdie got something to do in it. Right. Rose was in it. Didn't get much to do. Dan was in it. Made a joke of course, but
of course, yeah.
They could have done something with him.
you
No,
see.
see, they could have done something with him. I thought he got stabbed by Vega. I mean,
did.
Claw.
Yeah, he did.
And then later on, he came back to get pile drivered.
I think so.
Who did? Was it Sagat that beat? Zangief beat him up later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like like you see Guy for like a second as well.
Yeah.
Background. So does Sodom.
Yeah.
That's it.
I just feel
Brolento.
this film just did not have anything to do with anything.
Yeah.
That was,
best way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, why have this film here then? Especially since if this is the first Street Fighter movie that follows Street Fighter 2, the movie, which is really good. But we'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah.
Street Fighter Alpha Generations. What did you think of that?
Another one at the time I thought it was good, but then halfway through watching it when I first saw it, I was like, "This is what's the actual point of this? How did we get to this point?"
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad actually. Rewatching it,
bad.
I was like, you know what? Yeah, a lot of this makes sense, and a lot of this is replicated kind of in Street Fighter Assassin's Fist.
Yeah,
especially that Akuma's played by a black man.
Yeah.
I was listening to Akuma's voice and I was like, oh, wait a minute. He's just like the Justice Troopers from Dragon Ball. You can just tell what the voice is from.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Cool.
But I like this as well. Oh, first of all, Street Fighter Alpha kind of built to Akuma as the main boss or something like that. The Street Fighter, yeah. And then he just didn't appear.
Yeah.
That's what the other anticlimax was. Like,
but he did have an awesome moment in it because, like, what he said is pretty dope, but then it's kind of stupid at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, where I walk I walk alone. Where I fight alone. I was like,
yeah.
I was young. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. And I thought I was like, that's kind of stupid.
And then it inspired Batista's theme song.
Yep. Which makes more sense because he's an animal.
But this I thought made a lot more sense. I mean, this was only like 60 minutes long, 45 minutes long, or something.
45 minutes, yeah.
And it kind of made sense. But I think going with reuse the son of Akuma. I wasn't quite 100% sure on that. I also did not know where the old master came from, who somehow knew the Sasuke as well technique. But hey. But this film built to the fight. The way they were going, this film built in that direction.
Yeah.
If I saw this film instead of Street Fighter Alpha, the animation, or if this was part of that film,
because
it would have made a lot more sense.
First of all, like when it first came out, I thought it was kind of connected, and then I learned later on, like, wasn't. I was like, that's kind of pointless, then, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
Pretty dumb. Like, oh, what's the other good thing about? I'm trying to think. Is there anything else good about it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, look, it looks good. It does look good as well.
Yeah.
I think it does concentrate only on a few characters, right?
Yeah.
The Shoto characters, the Shoto clone characters.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there's that, but obviously with the runtime, they were like, "Yep, we know what we're gonna have here, and that's that," which is fine because you only got so much time.
Yeah,
and like you said, they concentrate on the main media known characters.
Yeah, the selling points.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, fair enough, fair dues. This I give more credit to than Street Fighter Alpha, which had a lot of characters and just didn't kind of concentrate on any of them really.
Kind of like the game.
I mean, it did on the media on the main characters, but then you're like, why introduce other you either spread the film out between the more characters, so you can have more threads going through, or you consolidate it between certain characters and just mainly concentrate on them. Which is what this film did, and I'm like, okay, because then if you don't have time to introduce other characters, you just don't have them.
Yeah. It's kind of like there's alpha games in a way as well. There's like all these characters in it, but what do they actually do? Nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, onto the I say the main event, but onto the Street Fighter 2, the animated movie. Now I have seen this movie so many times.
Same here.
It's great. It's great stuff.
It still holds up.
Yep. Do you watch with the Japanese soundtrack at any point?
No.
You've just seen the English dub,
Yeah.
English language dub.
Yep.
Which, by the way, has all those American rock songs, and you're like, actually, it works.
Yeah, man. That's why. I was like, yeah.
I think I listened to the Japanese version, and it doesn't work as well. I don't think personally. Not it's maybe because I'm used to it, but the other thing is just like it gives a bit more of a hardcore hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Japanese soundtrack's a bit more
gentle,
less tense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't know why I said gentle, but yeah.
The only thing, I mean, there's lots of points in this film where we were going to say good stuff, but the one thing I didn't like in this film is they didn't use many of the signature themes of the characters.
I was alright with that.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know why. I thought it kind of made it more like realistic.
Well, I was expecting, I was like, okay, there's Ryu's theme song that's used as the main theme, right? But when you have the characters appearing, like when Ryu and Sagat fight at the beginning, I don't know if you want, not necessarily just actually play Sagat's theme, but have parts of it hinted through the musical, like the musical score.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying when Guile appears, go do or something like that, but you just kind of thread it in a little bit. Because Ryu's theme song is just not literally Ryu's theme being played while he's Shoryuken in the mountain, climbing the mountain somewhere, you know?
Yeah. Unless, the only thing I can think of, unless there's like some weird licensing issue why they couldn't use it.
Yeah. Especially when Ken appears and his theme song don't play, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
This... I really enjoy this film because it's like, okay, Ryu's the main character, but he's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go around the world here, and then all of these people are coming after me for some reason, just because I just happen to be the best.
Yeah, supposedly I'm
fighter
the best
in the world that they're currently after.
Yeah.
So even using the Street Fighter 1 storyline where he fights Sagat in the I want to say in the forest somewhere, but there's no trees about, so it's not a forest.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I always, in my head, for some reason, I just thought it was like on the side of a road somewhere. I don't know why. That's like my head canon.
And Sagat knocks him over, and it looks to me like he's just going to do like a jumping tiger knee stomp or something like that to break Ryu's arm in half.
Yeah.
And then there's a dragon punch there. And I was like, all right. And then you have that in Bison. You have some scout bot somewhere just watching the fight for whatever reason. I mean, the reason makes sense, by the way. Why he's watching sense. It. But where is he? He's nowhere to be seen where the camera goes around these certain.
He's just there.
Yeah. There's another animated film. I can't remember what it was. I think it was called Red Claw or Red Bird or something like that. But basically, just rips off the entire beginning fight of this.
Is it?
Yeah. Just with their characters. Like the exact movements and everything like that. It's hilariously just copy and paste situation.
Did it come out around the same time?
I can't remember.
I don't think like unless they're using the same assets to like save time, but
yeah. But anyways, this. So yeah, then Ryu beats Sagat. And then it sets up the rest of the chain. Not necessarily sets up the rest of the chain events, but then that's why he and Bison's looking for him.
Yeah.
And because he has he's off the grid because he's Ryu, right?
Yeah, he's a vagabond.
Yeah. Then they can't find him, so they go after Ken. Oh yeah, okay. Interpol's after M. Bison, like Guile's after M. Bison because M. Bison killed Nash. Chun-Li's after M. Bison because Chun-Li's dad got killed by M. Bison. Yeah. All right, now we have things going together.
Yeah. And it's a joint mission with Interpol and the American Air Force.
I was quite saddened that Sagat never got another.
Nah, he got chumped out. It's alright.
Yeah. Well, basically, just after his first fight, he just disappeared.
Well, in the comic version, he does a bit more. Yeah.
It's not like, by the way, he gets his fight, but he doesn't. Then he doesn't even get a big moment or anything else afterwards. That's what the weird thing is. And he's talking about he wants this match with Ryu because about Fighter's Pride. And I was like, oh, so this version of the guy is just not. He's not evil. He just seems to be like Claw wants to just murder people. It seems because they're ugly, right? But then he works with Balrog, the boxer. So I don't know why that is. Anyways.
Yeah. Narcissist.
Yeah. But you get the idea of these people's characters, and Sagat just doesn't seem to be so as bad as the rest of them.
No,
Bison,
because he fell on bad times, really. And it's like,
yeah.
That's why I was like, oh, bless him.
And there's cameo appearances like DJ,
yeah.
DJ appears simply because they're like, oh yeah, we have I know a guy, like, if them Bison bots are after the most powerful fighters, I know a guy who's quite strong and powerful, and Bison probably after him, and then that's it. They go to DJ to warn him, and then that's it. He probably is like 2 minutes of the film, and that's I don't mind, by the way, Zangief and Blanca being random fight entertainment in a casino somewhere, wherever they are.
Yeah, because it kind of makes sense. That's why I was like,
yeah,
this checks out.
Yeah, I'm not 100% on why T-Hawk would fight Ken
in a warehouse.
Well, I get the idea of it, right?
In the warehouse.
But yeah, and Ken's like, I only do tournament fights because I'm like, all right, fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
T-Hawk, who are you trying to? If you're trying to beat Ken Masters because he wins all them US karate tournaments or whatever you want to say, whatever you want to say, he wins tournaments, yeah.
Mm.
What's beating him in a warehouse going to do when there's no officials or anything like that?
Yeah.
No one's there to see your victory, or quote unquote. But if you were to win,
that's what I always thought hilarious. Like, I don't get why you're doing this.
Yeah, he's just there for another big guy for a and a Sasuken practitioner to beat. It seemed.
It's like, if you do beat Ken, who's gonna be there to?
Yeah. You raise your hand, right? Where's the referee?
Where's your proof?
Yeah, yeah, Cammy made an appearance, just break a prime minister's neck.
That's awesome, though.
Fair enough.
Where you going, Mr. Sellers? Bang.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I mean, and they disappear for the rest. So many characters come in and just disappear, but whatever, right? They're not relevant. Not necessarily they're not relevant. They're there to have their extended cameos and then disappear, and it's fair enough.
Because years ago I read the comic book adaptation of this, and she's got more scenes in that, which is it kind of gives you what happens to her character afterwards, and then that's really it.
Yeah, they there's a lot of loose ends they could tie up here.
Yeah,
but they're probably just like, nah, we ain't gonna even if like. Yeah, add a minute or two, like a couple of minutes to wrap up everyone's loose ends before Ryu walks off, and then Bison's driving the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always awesome. Made no sense, but yeah.
yeah. But I did how they just like the fights were not necessarily random, but they weren't just like E Honda was fighting in by Dao Sim. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And then E Honda has a match with Balrog later on, and it's like, okay, fair enough.
Cause we're brothers. Yeah.
Yeah. I did like how Bison do the Nightcrawler teleport spam from X2 when Guile's trying to fight him, and then for what reason? By the way, for what reason logically would he, if he could display that sort of power? Why would he ever fight normally? And then when Ryu can like muck him up enough, he's like, fine, I'll fight you on your own level. Yeah. Like, okay. And then he probably takes about 3 or 4, like 5 hits, and then he's done.
Yeah.
So no wonder he's teleporting around because he can't.
He can't take hits, innit?
Yeah, he can hit people. He can't take hits. All right.
I'm trying to think what else in that.
Yeah.
Feilong, because Feilong, he's like an extended.
That was so for a lot like there were quite a lot of fights here. All right, and I'd say I'd probably have. Would you say the second best? What? Would you say? Obviously, the best fight in this is Chun-Li versus Vega.
Yeah, it is one of them. Yeah.
So then it becomes which one's the second best fight? Would it be Ryu versus Sagat? Would it be Ryu versus Fghter? Would it be Bison versus Ryu and Ken? I'm not missing any other fights, am I? Because there's other fights in it, but they're not as showcased as much as that. It's a shame Guile didn't get another something to show off his abilities.
Is that the only fight he has?
I think I wouldn't call it a fight.
Well, yeah, he gets like.
And Bison just teleports around, and all of a sudden, next time you see Guy was on the floor.
Yeah.
Don't turn your back on me. Don't turn your back.
Well, I was gonna say Ken versus Bison on the plane, but again,
Oh yeah,
Ken's
yeah.
beaten up.
But that was more of like, I'll shoot a fireball, and then you reflect the fireball, and then. By the way, what I do like in this is though everyone has abilities, they don't. You could just do a fireball spam, yeah. But they're like, okay, it takes time to conjure it up and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's not like you could just bust out all the time.
No,
and it's a shame as well that Sagat never got some sort of second fight, because then he could be like, oh yeah, this is where I got my tiger uppercut from. You know, I appropriated someone else's technique, which is the canon story. Yeah.
Well, I think once he got beaten by Ryu in the beginning, it was sort of like, you've tamed him now. You know.
Yeah, but he could have just beat up some jabronis. You know. But Bison sends him on a mission to do something, and then you never see him again. It's not even if you see him doing the mission; he just disappears.
Yeah, he's like, that's pretty much he just like, I'm retired. I'm not coming back.
yeah. It's like, basically, Bison treated him like a jabroni, and Sagat's like, forget this guy. Then
It's like, he's gonna die anyway. I'm gonna just I can.
Yeah,
like my live action movie counterpart. You know.
No.
Oh, the worst.
Yeah. There's I mean, look, if I was to recommend people to watch, I think it's quite a good animated movie as well. Yes, there's stories that don't wrap up, and sometimes they have people appearing for the sake of appearances.
Yeah.
Like Fei Long got an introduction. He got a fight, and then he got a send off as well, and probably about 5 minutes of screen time. But they wrapped up everything that was needed for him. Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, and I suppose Cammy got your appearance with Amnesiac and stuff like that. You get the beginning and end of that wrap up. They just kind of appear and disappear for the movie.
Well,
to be fair with Fei Long though, he broke his arm, so he's not going to be.
Yeah.
He got his arm broke. Sorry. So it's not as if he could be any other use in the movie.
Who else? Technically, T-Hawk got his storyline wrapped up. Yeah, he went to fight Ryu, but Ken battered him, so he has nothing.
Yeah, he went to fight Ken. Ken's like, well, first of all, why I don't fight in the street, even though it's a Street Fighter movie, but whatever, right?
Yeah, I don't fight in the street. Okay.
Yeah.
How did you?
It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like, if someone's fighting you in the street, you gotta fight back. You're not gonna stand there and be like, okay, well, give me wait, hold up, yeah. While you're still getting attacked, you go, no, we're gonna register the U.S. martial arts tournament, right?
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, but and I find it funny how they just didn't even need to explain Blanca. By the way,
no. Just to be fair though,
so
you got a guy who could teleport and stuff, and a stretchy limb dude.
No. That's explained by yoga.
Yeah, but like stuff like that. Do you need to explain Blanca now? You're like, okay, fair enough.
No. But what I mean is, when I say explain Blanca, I'm just saying in the casino.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they just accept that some dude is big, bulky, green with orange hair. Yeah.
It's a Shadow Law casino, right?
Oh yeah.
So they probably seen even more weirder things. To be fair, yeah.
Oh,
That's pretty much
fair
this thing they probably saw that night. To be fair,
I did like as well. They had the spinning pile driver there, and Blanca just counted by putting his hands down first, which probably would have broken his wrist considering how high he was coming down.
But he swings from trees, so I'm pretty sure his wrists are like.
Oh no! But he's coming out of the spinning weight of gravity at his weight and Zangief's weight on that small little on his wrist, you know, on his palm.
Yeah, it would break his wrist, but
he's a mutant. He's a mutant.
Yeah, possibly not even from this earth. Who knows?
Yeah. Did you ever watch the Street Fighter cartoon? It says the series, but you know what I mean is I don't mean Street Fighter V.
No, you mean Street Fighter the Saturday morning cartoon, as it was called in America. Yeah.
which Guile actually is. So it's supposed to be spawned off the film, but not because Guile's actually American in this.
Yeah. Because I think I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Oh, hold on, bits and pieces being all the memes.
Yeah. How Bison's the most like hammiest person in all universe. And I think have you actually watched it properly?
No, I have not. I don't know if I'm going to, but you tell me first, and then maybe you can. Wait, you haven't watched it? Have you watched it?
I've watched someone else watch it. Like they're giving like a lowdown on it.
Yeah.
Like one of the reasons I do want to watch it is because there's a crossover with Final Fight where Cody and Guy are in it. It's like, oh, cool. I like Cody and Guy.
Is there only 13 episodes?
I think so.
Okay. Well, maybe I will give it a watch somewhere. Would you watch Street Fighter V?
I don't know, because when I saw the other day what Ryu looks like, he looked more like generic protagonist from anime.
He probably looks more like Akira from Search of Fire.
Yeah. I was like, I want to watch this, even though I probably will. But...
I've seen the first maybe 5 episodes of it. Where so when they have fights, it's really cheap. Sometimes they'll just have scenery, and sound effects.
Really?
And then you'll go back to the fight or whatever it is.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, and this is so Ken fights pretty long at some point.
Yeah.
And then you just see the pic because they're in China, Hong Kong, and then you see like the Buddhas and the wherever they the Chinese garden they're fighting, wherever you just start seeing background, right?
Yeah.
You don't see them anymore until. But you hear them going, stand. Yeah. And then you're back into them fighting. And it's just like, all right. But what really got me was, so Ryu and Ken think they're all the man, of course.
Yeah. I'm the man. Yeah.
And they have Chun-Li who helps them, like their tour guide.
Okay.
Which I'm like, all right. Okay.
That's sexist.
But they're all young. They're all young. So after this, maybe she can join Interpol. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, they go and they go to a US bar and they start causing trouble because then they want to join the fights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryu beats up everyone, and then Guile comes in and says, basically, oh, okay, well. Yeah, okay, you beat up my boys. How about you try beating up a man? And then
oh god, yeah.
He doesn't say that line exactly, but essentially, Guile's like 30 something, and they're like in their teens. So, yeah. And even though he beat up all the military guys who are probably in their 30s or something like that. Anyways, Guile teaches them, puts him in hospital. It's like, all right, so it's a bar fight, and you put a kid in the hospital. Okay.
Wow, that's a bit extreme.
Yeah. And then Ken's like, all right, well, I'm going to go and get revenge for my boy Ryu. Goes to the military base.
Yeah.
Uses his money and reputation to get in there.
Yeah.
He basically, they say, oh, you need a pass or whatever to get in because it's a US military base. He goes, give me a second. He then calls Masters Corporation and then he's just like, oh, sir, please.
Oh.
And then he goes there to find Guile because he's like, oh yeah, I'm here to train Guile. That's his in. I'm Guile's new personal trainer. And they're like, aren't you a bit young? He goes, yeah, but I own Masters Corporation. They go, yeah, okay, cool.
Sure, cool. Checks out.
Yeah. So he finds Guile. Guile's got a hangover.
Yeah.
And Ken's like, yeah, you put my buddy in hospital. I'm gonna put you in the hospital. They have not even a minorist tussle at the beginning, but Guile kind of just steps back, grabs sand from a sandbag, throws it in Ken's face.
Okay.
And then Ken says, you're a cheater. And then you know what Guile says? The same line that your boy Vin Diesel says.
What, family?
No!
What?
In the street fight, the streets always win. No, he doesn't say that exact line, but basically that's the gist of it. He says, kid, you're fighting as though there's rules in a tournament. There is no tournament here. Something like that, right?
Yeah.
But it just says to him, why can't I cheat, essentially?
To be fair, he's got a point.
Yeah. Yeah. You're the one that come to fight me.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, you know what? Okay, that's a fair point. That's a fair point right there.
Yeah. Can't really deny that.
But I have to say, I accept Giles teach them lessons because they probably all the time in their life they'd be like, we'll find people in a particular way, or we'll be training with each other in a particular way, and
Yeah.
like other people aren't gonna follow them rules. There's an episode in Sagat's in prison. He got in prison for something. I don't think not ducking on a fight or something.
Yeah. Murder, maybe. Does he murder someone?
Actually, maybe no. Yeah. He killed someone with his fatal Tiger Knee Crush.
Yeah.
And that's the whole episode. I think Ryu got put in jail for something, and they're trying to build to Ryu versus Sagat match in there. And because we fans, because we know about the game, this fight where he scars him up. No.
That's gonna come in season 2. Push never.
Yeah.
Comes. Yeah.
So Ryu gets his fight with Sagat, and Sagat gives him the fatal quote unquote Tiger Knee Crush, and then Ryu gets up and goes, "No one's ever got up." No, that's Sagat. Some of the prisoners. No one's ever got up from that. And yeah, of course, he's not going to kill the main character in episode 5. Jeez. Even that, he should never have actually connected with it. You know how it is.
That's kind of stupid. But yeah.
I think I don't know if the V series is interesting or not. I don't mind that you can retcon, but stay true to the characters. Not retcon, but readjust and reboot.
Yeah.
As we know with Batman Begins.
Yeah.
A lot of things I don't want to say it's the exact continuity of Batman, but you get the vibe enough of the character.
Yeah.
That you're like, I accept that it's different.
Yeah. Rather than whatever it's doing in this thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But I think there's a jury OVA as well for Street Fighter 4, which
Really?
Yeah, about 30 minutes.
That sounds
long.
familiar. Yeah.
And I think that is just kind of explains her whatever ability she has in the lead up for Super Street Fighter 4, maybe? Because it's a bit odd to have the ties that bind for Street Fighter 4 and then this as well. Because Chun-Li's also chasing this person. Chun-Li got a very busy lady.
Yeah, she has.
Yeah.
She's a rather weird lady.
Yeah. Which is why, as we're saying, why did they never just go for that backstory in Legend of Chun-Li? That makes no sense when you just had the easiest in the world.
Because it's too complicated. It's not.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Not,
if anything, it's too straightforward, you might say, but or whatever.
Yeah, it's all that bull crap. Let's make it more accessible, even though it's not accessible because you just made it more convoluted. But all right, sure, okay.
I don't like. I don't think necessarily you need a game that you need a movie that follows the video game because they retcon the video games as well. I mean, in the Street Fighter 2 animated movie, Ryu there was no Shasuna Hado or anything like that.
Nah.
He could beat Sagat, and that was that. You know.
Yeah, but to be fair though, I don't think they thought that far ahead.
No,
But I know what you mean. You don't need to.
Yeah, like you're saying, they obviously didn't know they were going to do that for the movie later on.
Yeah.
So as far as continuity is concerned, you could have said Street Fighter 2 was actually still Street Fighter 2 animated movie was in continuity with the games, except the games then retcon themselves, and that fell out of continuity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to hire someone for the Street Fighter to streamline, to maintain the continuities.
Well, it's weird because what it is one of those things where there's the minor things where you could have the Shasuna Hado appear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then by the time Ryu gets to Sagat, he's in control of it, or it's after he's dealt with Sagat that it starts trying to possess him.
Because you said that kind of unleashed it or whatever. Yeah, it's always
exactly. You can leave his fight with Sagat clean. Otherwise, you just start making murkiness. Yeah. Even though we don't know officially did Akuma appear to Rage Demon and Bison because he's like, nah, and Bison's boosting himself with psycho power. He's not a true warrior, therefore I need to destroy him. Or he's just like, well, I'm here to fight the strongest, so I shall fight the person who reached the finals of this tournament.
Yeah.
Why? yeah. I guess the tendencies of characters change as well.
Yeah.
But
Urgencies. Yeah.
yeah. So these are the things where you're like, all right, I don't mind. Okay, Street Fighter 2 the anime is out of continuity now, but I don't care. I'll
No, I
still
don't
watch
care. I'll
it.
still watch it.
I think it's actually probably, I honestly necessarily easier to watch when you don't have all that other stuff involved.
Yeah.
It's just a straightforward watch because people find people.
Yeah, and it's the story's not kind of built into anything else. Literally, it is what it is.
Yeah, because you got, you got the A plot of this guy just one no, like he's like Ryu's like the B plot because
Yeah.
is Guile and Chun-Li finding him Bison, that's the A plot.
Yeah,
Right? Or trying to find Ryu, that's the A plot.
Yeah.
And then Ryu going around trying to be found or find people, that's his thing.
yeah, and Ken's kind of like tied to that in a way.
Yeah. I think they managed to work together in that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
For where they're going.
yeah. It's not overcomplicated or anything. It's just
No, except for the amount of stamina that Ryu has, because he got beat up by Ken a ton, and then he got beat up by Bison, and still managed to pull off the heroic flourish at the end.
yeah. With the double Hadoukens that
Yeah.
joined together and
Mhm.
wiped
Yeah.
out a village. I think wiped a
Yeah.
village, but it did something. Yeah.
Though it made a lot of sense. Oh, see, Bison didn't pop out with the Psycho Crusher there, though. No, he
No.
did do one, right? No, okay. Hold on, he did do one, but not a flaming. Yeah, I think he did he hit Guile with one?
I think so.
Well, you don't really see it, but basically, he does that move. I don't know if they thought maybe it looked silly, but he comes towards the screen rather than like it's focused on his shoulders, his head, his shoulders, and then he kind of lifts his fists up and goes towards the screen. But I guess they didn't want to make him fly across the screen.
Because like for some
That
reason,
might be a step too far. But hold on a minute, this man can teleport, so I don't see why flying across the screen is going to be weird.
yeah. Because like in my head, I don't know why I keep thinking this. I keep seeing him doing it and someone jumping over it, but I'm thinking I might be getting that confused with a Dulcim E Honda fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think does Dulcim do the spinning thing? Then
I think
someone
so.
dumps over something
Yeah.
in that one.
I'm just getting them.
But yeah, Bison doesn't go on fire or anything like that. He just does
Nah.
it. Basically, it's essentially a double flying fist, except that because it's first person view.
Yeah.
Kind of a bit, yeah. Yeah. But yeah. I do like the lines in there where Guile's like, "And Bison, I'll rip your effing heart
I
out."
was literally about to say that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Bison, when he teleports to fight Guile, goes, "What? Are you, Captain? Are you ready to give me that heart transplant you were so kindly
Yeah.
speaking of?" I was like, all right,
Ooh. He called your
Alright.
bluff. Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah.
He's the
Oh yeah, no. Okay, so which were you gonna say is the second best fight of
second best fight.
Yeah, because Vega vs Chun-Li.
Yeah, that's the
Then you
first
had
because she lifts up a sofa and throws at him, which is awesome.
Yeah. I was like, well, okay. First of all, she got battered.
Yeah.
She got battered. She battered him as well, and then the lightning kick finish as well,
Yeah.
and the spinning bird kick, which looked amazing because of how we seen it done badly in Legend of Chun-Li. This looked really good the way it was done.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. But second best fight, would you say? But which one would you say of the other fights that are there? And I say the other fights, but they're probably the more story relevant fights because Dhalsim and Honda have a fight, but I wouldn't say I was one of that was just and Blanca and Zangief have a little showcase fight, but that's not really anything either.
I think it might have to be Fei Long Ryu.
Yeah, that was a quick one, but a brutal one.
Brutal, yeah.
Like they were just like the way they were taking hits and stuff like that. I think Bison versus Ken and Ryu is more of a your main event match. This is where the story led in this direction.
Yeah.
So it was, it was the spectacle to cap it all off.
Yeah, basically.
Chun-Li versus Vega was I want to say your semi-main event, but one of those where you're like, actually, this probably would have stolen the show.
Yeah, because it would have.
Yeah, and then you had your quick fire X Division style match, which would have been Fei Long versus Ryu, because they was hitting each other quick and fast. Though there was an even quicker fight where Ryu just headbutt that dude.
Oh yeah.
Keep this facing.
Ryu, where the hell are you? Oh, that was good.
Yeah, would you have liked to seen a sequel to it? I say that only because why is randomly Bison driving a truck towards Ryu, and then there's a fly kick at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if it's Sagat driving the truck, maybe, right?
I don't know if Sagat can drive.
What, can't drive a truck because he's so big?
No, because he's got one eye.
Oh, right, yeah. But what I'm saying is, if Sagat disappeared and then he came back at the end for his rematch, at least you'd be like, that makes sense, right? But Bison got double fireballed.
Yeah.
And it was a double fireball electric finish, or whatever you want to call it, It ain't no coming back.
Never.
Apparently there is, though.
Like, but for some reason, I always thought that part, where it's quote unquote Bison in the lorry.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I always thought that was like it was like an hallucination.
It does seem that way, doesn't it? Because they finished. What was that movie? They did a movie, and where, I think there was a movie that something like that happened at the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember what movie it is, but I know.
But then again, these are slasher horror movies, so that stuff would happen at the end.
Yeah. Because it's kind of like it's kind of weird and pedestrian that after like getting destroyed, he decides that he's gonna chase Ryu down in a lorry.
Yeah.
So
Like, exactly.
Okay, that's
of all things, right?
Yeah, you're gonna do that. Okay, sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what kind of vehicle Bison drives, but definitely a truck is not one of them.
No. And why would he use it? It's just so weird. It's like, why would he use a truck?
Yeah,
I'm confused.
Why didn't he just teleport in front of Ryu?
Yeah,
or something like that, and then but you could just say he went into one of his clone Bison body.
Yeah.
Which is not as powerful as previous Bison, or however you want to put it. But that's just us trying to think of reasonings for making this thing work.
Yeah, trying to make a logic.
I don't mind it, here or there. No, it not that it doesn't work. It's just like you're like, all right, this character doesn't seem like he would do that.
Yeah,
it's just like when Ra's al Ghul, Liam Neeson's Ra's al Ghul was fighting Batman in his actual suit, right?
Yeah,
and you're like, yeah, okay, and then if he starts putting out brass knucks to fight Batman, you'd be like, no, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, it's like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Ra's al Ghul in Batman because they only fights with leather gloves. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, sure. That's not weird.
Yeah. But put brass socks on to fight a guy in armor. That's a step too far.
Yeah. Bison.
Yeah. I actually think though Street Fighter 2 the anime movie was actually true to the characters as well.
Yeah. Especially because at that time the characters didn't really have much to them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it is also true.
Yeah.
I think actually this gave him a lot of backstory because this is where Ken and Ryu are having the sparring back in the day.
Yeah.
And Ryu gets injured somehow.
I think Ken's toe hits him in the eye, around his eyebrow, and it bleeds. And then Ken goes, "Hey Ryu, take this to stop the bleeding." And then that's when Ryu,
the hairband he had, and then they retcon it. That's why it is from Street Fighter Alpha.
Yeah.
Because when Ken beats Ryu in sparring, he gives him his band, and also in Street Fighter Assassin's Fist, you're like, all right, well,
that's cool.
This is continuity, even though it wasn't continuity before. But all right, these are the minor things that add a bit more to the characters.
Yeah.
In actual fact,
in a good way.
Yeah. What order would you put these films in? If you were to tell, would you say? Would you say a random person to watch them, or would you say a Street Fighter fan to watch them? It'd probably be the same order either way, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be the same order either way.
Okay.
Street Fighter 2 animated movie, we won.
Yeah.
Then probably Street Fighter. Trying to think.
I laugh because there's blatantly a clear winner. Everything else is many tiers below.
Yeah. Trying to think of the one that's less below.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, okay. Should we just say that Street Fighter Alpha, the movie is probably at the end, okay?
Yeah.
So that means it just leaves two in the middle. Which order are we going in there?
Generations, I guess.
Yeah, I would
Actually,
say.
no, I'll say Tied That Bind.
Oh,
then...
I might have had it in the original order you were saying it, because Generations is self-contained.
Yeah.
Whereas Ties That Bind kind of is the prologue to the game. So it leaves strings enough to intrigue you to know what's going on.
Yeah.
But it doesn't wrap up. It does wrap up, but it doesn't wrap up conclusively.
Yeah, it doesn't wrap up in a neat little package.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. So is C Viper meant to be one of the main characters here? I guess she is,
so.
right? But then you're like, is she main antagonist worthy? Because
not really, in my opinion, but
yeah. But they're just like, oh, this is a fancy new character for us to have. That we're just like Alex in Street Fighter 3. We're gonna try and push this person.
But Joe's thing is, at least Alex has appeared in the game since. You know what I mean?
Oh, is C Viper not in the rest of them?
Nope, she's not in 5 or at the moment 6.
Okay. Well, for some reason I thought she was in the rest of them, but
No.
I guess not, right?
Because Alex comes back in 5.
Yeah.
They retcon him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and C Viper just doesn't ever appear, which is super weird.
Yeah.
You would
That's
think
kind of
after all the marketing stuff that rolled around her, they would bring her back, but I don't know.
that's a bit weird.
Yeah.
You would have thought like they have random characters they have appearances of. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even what's the name? Jury. She's been in 3 of them now. So I don't know.
Yeah. Which, by the way, now not that. Okay, so Chris Klein played Charlie Nash in Legend of Chun-Li.
Yeah.
If Moon Goodblood's character was C Viper in name, kind of, would you think that would be fine? Would that have made? Well, not necessarily. This film made sense, anyways, right? But if she was C Viper instead of whatever original character name that they gave her, would you be like, all right, okay, I accept that?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, first of all, that movie's completely in its own continuity anyway.
Yeah,
so whatever they give, I'd have probably accepted
right
and allowed.
like, okay.
Yeah.
That checks out, sort of thing.
I mean, it probably, yeah.
As bad as that sounds, but yeah, I'd be like, yeah, that checks out. Okay.
Exactly. I suppose. But yeah, I didn't realize she never made appearances afterwards.
No, which I've never understood.
Well, is she in other games? She must be in other games, right? Maybe that's why we think that she's. That's why, yeah.
No.
She only appeared in Street Fighter 4. That's a bit weird.
That's what I'm saying. It's mad.
Okay.
It's crazy to me.
All right. Yeah.
Like, you could have got another 2 games out of that lady, but hey, you know.
She's definitely not in Street Fighter 5.
No, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Then why push her in the story?
That's what I'm saying, and do nothing with her.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Whatever then. I guess.
Basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you like to see any backstories of any other characters? Like, would you like to see a OVA of a character that's not one of the main characters, or not necessarily not one of the main characters, but not the characters we've seen multiple times? Like, flesh out another character. I know Street Fighter Ties That Bind added something to C Viper. And it added bits to Cammy as well. But you know,
for me,
is there anyone else interesting you think this should be like? Could have
but it's basically another franchise within Capcom anyway. I
Oh.
would like to see like the
What?
what's his face? My dog Cody and Guy get more of a shine.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Here's the thing: if they had their movie, they'd probably be called Final Fight for real. You know, just as in not Final Fight for real, but it would just be called Final Fight. It'd be maybe a Final Fight code on a Street Fighter story or something like that. You know, just how Hobbs and Shaw is a Fast and Furious presents or whatever it is.
Yeah. Street Fighter presents.
Yeah. Final Fight, which is a bit weird because it should be Final Fight presents Cody and Guy. Yeah, I would have like maybe like. I know Guile's got a backstory, even though he is a main character in as far as games concerned, but just sometimes he's like there's not enough. Like he's not main character; he's a side character.
Yeah.
To the plot, he's integral, but he's not. It's not a focus on him.
No, he's like, you're there.
Oh, but okay. By the way, sometimes when I say an animated movie, I'm just saying like sometimes some people's story is not long enough to pull off a whole animated movie. So if you had a compilation animated movie, which like are short stories for that make up the entire. Let's just say it's 9 minutes, and you got between 15. You got 10 to 20 minutes. To build your character, you know, within that story. I reckon you could do a Cammy story in there, to give her a bit more oomph. Maybe like, I don't want to say necessarily like you could do a Blanca story even.
Like,
not necessarily by the way a Blanca origin story. That might be a bit too of a hill to climb, you know, because there's a lot of stuff going on there.
What they could do. I would say like an anthology series, like that'd be pretty.
Because I'd like to see a bit more about Dan as well. I know we know the surface of Dan's story, but some people like Birdie don't even have a story, so you could just have if it's an anthology, you could have a 5-minute segment in that.
Yeah,
but Addon could have had something.
Yeah, I'm saying there's loads of people
even though Addon you're meant to hate, so they could just create more hate for Addon.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
But there's people like intriguing people like Oro.
Yeah. Or
stuff like
the other guy, not Oro.
The guy in the trench coat.
12 and Q.
Yeah.
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 Or we can finally find out what's going on with Gil.
Yeah.
Resurrection.
Because
or the, like you know, I'm sure you could pull off a 20-minute segment about all the Bison dolls, which would include Cammy's story as well. And then Vega being Claw is trying to kill them all because they're more beautiful than him because he's shallow like that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope.
I'm not saying. I'm actually saying that as because I think in the there's logic to that because is it in the comics, New Dawn comics or something like that? He got jealous of Cammy.
Yeah.
And the dolls. Because I don't necessarily say they had more of a Bison's attention right than him, not in that weird way, just because. But
no,
it's
but it's
like,
kind of true. Yeah,
I think the other part of it is also he's like they're good looking, and he's a bit of a narcissist, so he has to be the best looking person in the room.
Yeah, because he's a weirdo.
Yeah, it's weird like that.
Yeah.
But then if you put the backstory of exactly why he's like that, he's a spoiled character, by the way.
Yeah,
his backstory is like. Makes a lot of sense for him to end up the way he is.
Because like, isn't he like spoiled? He was a spoiled kid or something, isn't it?
Yeah, and they had the beautiful mum and ugly dad, I think, or something like that.
Something
I can't remember exactly. Maybe he's just afraid that later on in life, when he was a kid, he looked in the mirror. He's like, "Oh, I look amazing thanks to mama's genes, right?"
Yeah.
And then later on, you're like, you know, when a blonde kid, when you got a blonde one parent's blonde, the other parent's not blonde, and later on, the kid starts blonde, but his hair goes brown.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what's happening with Vega. He was like, I'm going to turn ugly. I hate all them ugly people.
Because technically it didn't happen to him, really.
No, but
I'm talking about like, because in the games he started with brown hair, then they Changed to blonde.
Then he started brown hair. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Maybe he died. No, I think then he in the Alpha series he started having blonde. Oh, did he later have it blonde? Maybe he dyes it blonde. Even better then. Even better because then he's had to. He's so vain. He has to put himself in self-denial that he's like, oh, I have to be beautiful and blonde, and then he hates the people that are ugly, even though he feels his brown hair is ugly. You know, you just add layers to the character because he's so shallow. It's like, yeah, and then he's in complete self-denial, and then just work other things. You're like, all right, okay, this maniac right here, 100%.
That makes sense because I think as well. Then he had 2 claws, and then I think when graphics and stuff improved, they gave him 3.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember that.
Something weird like that.
Yeah.
Again, I could be making this up. I don't know.
But yeah, there's like people like Alex. What's his backstory? You know. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things where you're like you say, they could have just done. They should do some sort of rather than the Ties That Bind story that we did get. They should have just do an anthology series that prologues a lot of people leading up to the point of the tournament.
It'll make more sense.
Yeah. Well, hey, we'll see. We'll see if they ever whenever they go up next in Street Fighter. Hopefully, they do something because they have not necessarily convoluted their story. A bit like you were saying, they need someone to straight out their lore.
Yeah, they need hire someone who just does that.
So, as we know, there was 3 X-Men movies.
Yep.
X1, X2, X3.
Yep.
And then you had First Class.
Yep.
Which then contradicted stuff that they said during that first trilogy.
Yep.
And then you had X-Men Days of Future Past, which tried to tie that the previous continuity with the new continuity. And you're like, no, but they're not the same characters, even though you've cast the same actors.
Yeah. At least
they can't be because what they say and what they've done is slightly different. And if you can't keep track of that, and that's just watching 6 hours of movie, then you know.
But they tried. But then
all
they
right,
kind of went off because isn't Wolverine? Oh no, never mind.
Yeah, no. Go on and say that, yeah, and then we'll go back to Street Fighter, and then we'll sign off. You kind of left that unfinished thought there.
Yeah, it did. Because isn't Logan basically part of the original timeline?
Well, they don't say it is, but they don't say it isn't. Yeah. I think they were saying originally that it was part of the... Yeah. No, I think... Okay,
actually, no, it isn't. No, it can't be.
Yeah.
It'd be a splinter timeline because Days of Future Past is the original timeline. And then when they go back and fix everything, that branches off. If we're going like Avenger logic, that branches off and made a new timeline. So I'm guessing the Logan timeline is a 3rd timeline.
Well, here's the thing, right? Remember in The Wolverine?
Yeah.
Where the girl who could tell the future basically was like, oh yeah, you're going to die with holding your heart in your hand.
Yeah.
And essentially they were metaphorically because Laura was like, you know, his heart.
Yeah.
And kind of. Well, yeah. I guess it depends. It depends.
Yeah.
Because essentially, if you're saying Days of Future Past happened in 2023, which is now, by the way.
Oh crap! Yeah.
When the film was filmed in 2014.
Yeah.
Then then Logan happened in 2029. Then it fixed the timeline for about 6 years, and then
it went to crap again.
yeah.
For mutants, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know about that, and not to say I don't know about that, but he kind of ruined his own happy ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bless him.
But that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah, because that's for another time. Yeah.
But if you want to talk about retcons, you like how did Goken come back from the Raging Demon? That's the one that they should that's something they should have tied up in Street Fighter.
I think they kind of tried to tie up in Street Fighter, Ultra Street Fighter 4 or something. I don't know.
Oh, it's funny because in the movies he's definitively dead. and then he's had a power of nothingness, which Ryu gets somehow. Ryu learns about that as well. So then he becomes, but he can't. He won't go down the Mesu no Hadu route as Akuma did. But yeah,
I think in Street Fighter 4, it's gonna sound really weird. I think he's like a Force ghost.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Is he or is he an actual character? Yeah, I prefer him being like Barry Allen.
Yeah.
In the comics when Wally West was the Flash, I prefer him being a part of the law, but not in the law.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. But hey, look, it's their franchise. They can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, I'm not getting paid to change it.
But I think they sometimes just create stuff that causes them a bit more problems in the future.
Yeah. That's what happens when you have someone controlling continuity.
Yeah, and I'm kind of glad in some ways that these movies aren't related to each other, but at the same time, it would have been better if they, like, if Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, fine, but you Street Fighter Alphas,
yeah,
you'd think they'd be together.
You would think they would be.
Yeah, it's because they kind of relay a similar-ish story, but not quite. One actually pulls it off the story, and the other one is like, switch. Bait and switch,
yeah,
and you're like,
which is kind of stupid, or
yeah.
And it's not like you couldn't just do. Why use the same? Oh, I guess because it's sort of setting it out. But even Generations didn't need to be set in the Alpha timeline, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it didn't.
No.
But I think that was the storyline that was going on in the Alpha games at the time.
Yeah.
So it just made a bit more sense.
Even then, it doesn't make sense because Alpha finished in 99 or say 2000.
No. Hold on. You Street Fighter? No. When I say the Alpha series, I mean from Street Fighter Alpha 3, which would have been.
That's like 2001.
Is it finished in 2001?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So it's like you didn't really need to.
Okay. For some reason, I thought I just thought because you know how first of all how long. It feels like Street Fighter, the actual Street Fighter 2 franchise, went on forever.
It did. It did.
No, but it wasn't that long. It was only like a handful of years.
I would say about 5 years. Well, no.
Yeah.
No, I would say about. Street Fighter 1 came out like. The Street Fighter 2 came out like 91, right?
Yeah.
And then Alpha 1 came out 94, right?
94? Why did I think it was 99?
Nah.
Oh, geez.
Actually, no, Super Street Fighter 4 came out not Super Street Fighter 4. Super Street Fighter came out in 94, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
I think Alpha 1 must come out in 95.
And right, and you're saying Generations was finished by that point. Street Fighter was no longer Alpha anyways by the time that Generations come out.
Yeah, unless it took them like 5 years to make. You know, like,
yeah. I think they were saying it came with a one of the DVD sets or something like that. One of the 25th anniversary game set or something like that. Maybe even Super Street Fighter 2 Remix Edition. I don't know, but it came with something.
Or HD or whatever.
Yeah. It came as part of something, which was like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'd probably rather have that than Street Fighter Alpha, the movie with my Alpha series.
Yeah. I'm Shin.
Okay, all right. So just before we sign off, you're going to say me and you are going to try and watch the Street Fighter series.
Yeah.
The US series and Street Fighter V, the Japanese series. All right. Okay. We gotta. All right. When they're down to watch that, then we'll say what we think of those.
Yeah, they're gonna be amazing.
Well, I don't expect great things.
Neither do I, but we could be surprised.
I expect to be entertained by Street Fighter 2 animated series, though.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Was it the series? The US series.
Hilarious.
Anyway.
From what I've seen, it just seems hilarious.
Yeah, and Street Fighter V, I expect cheatness.
Yeah. Like I keep thinking, whenever I think of Street Fighter V, I keep just thinking of Shinmu, the anime that came out last year or something. I don't know.
What is that?
Have you the Dreamcast game Shenmue?
Oh right.
Yeah, they had an anime for it that came out like recently, even though the game technically died like 20 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but you have to send me some sort of link to that, because then when I watch the series, we can research that and maybe bring that up as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so that'll be us signing off for this episode.
Yes.
I am. I'm the original character in a movie with very strange motivations and combining organic characters together with whatever to make the ultimate fire. You know what? He looked really weird as well. That guy's face.
Yep. He
Yeah.
does some weird Akuma wannabe. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I'm just a big piece of whatever. Is what I can say.
Basically. Yeah.
See why, Chong?
And I am the man who lives in the forest with a bunch of fighting dummies that just appear from nowhere because I don't have no friends, Carl Charles. And thank you for listening to us discuss the Street Fighter animated movies and their weirdness. If any of you have seen these, let us know, and let us know what your favorite one was, or what fight you thought was the best out of all of them. And you could do that by following us on Instagram, Twitter, or drop us an email and just leave us a tweet, a comment in our YouTube or Instagram sections. And also don't forget to like and share. And if you can, drop us a review on whatever podcasting app you will listen to this on. And until next time, guys, hope you all become world warriors, and thank you for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.
You're all right. Hey, buddy. How you been? We'll catch up on the reunion stuff later. We got something to do first. Like taking out the trash. Yeah!
You both seem bound and determined to meet destruction at my hands. So be it. I'll fight you on your own level. Come on!